Welcome to the Little Hut Podcast with Brown on Cleveland, Self, and Little Kimmy. Friday evening, 10 p.m. inside the hut with Brown on Cleveland. Yeah. And let's get started. Welcome to Brown on Cleveland inside the Little Hut Podcast. All talk, no gossip, and maybe just a little bit of drama. Just a little bit. It's Friday evening, it's the weekend, and hopefully you guys have had a fantabulous work week, or some of you guys work during the weekends, but hopefully you guys will have a joyous and pleasant experience. My name is Kimberly F. Brown. Brown, that damn Brown on Cleveland. And F stands for fantabulous because that you are. Yes, and I said it first. So, of course, as always, some things never change. Before we get started, no shiggity boo tonight. Well, that's not true. That's not true. I got to say hello to my sponsors. Why? Because they take care of me the way I take care of them. So, of course, good evening to Aletha Johnson of Dream Team Realty. She's located in Maple Heights. If you're looking for a single home, duplex, commercial property, or a new development, call Aletha right now. Wake her up at 216 375 3681. Now, campaign season is here. If you're still looking for t-shirts, hoodies, jackets, tumblers, mugs, team uniforms, whatever your need may be, call Angie Marie of New Beginnings 1111 Creations, right? You can give her a call at 216 395 7335. That's 216 395 7335. And yesterday, I stopped by Flavor Southern Cuisine Restaurant, which is located in Garfield Heights at 12540 Rockside Road, right? So if you're looking for some great soul food, American food, please reach out to Rhonda Stubbs and her team. You can give them a call and order at 216 510 0919. And again, don't forget that if you own a daycare, and if your little people need breakfast or lunch or snack, call Rhonda. Yeah, call her now. Let her take care of you because she does a fantastic job with the youth. Okay. And always, don't forget, Fridays are always brought to you by the reelection team of Mayor Matt Burke over in Garfield Heights. Listen, don't forget that early voting has started. Right? And we go to the polls on Tuesday, November 4th. Don't forget to shake your pom poms, shake your pom poms. Damn it, shake your pom poms for Mayor Matt Burke. Brown, that darn Brown on Cleveland. And I forgot to do this, but I got to do it. Yeah, we go. Don't forget about the scroll. I want you to pay attention to the people who are going across my YouTube channel. Please do your research on each and every candidate that's running. And if they are a fit for you and your family and your community, then of course, you know what you gotta do. Be an educated and concerned voter. And don't be voting for people because somebody with a title that told you to vote for their husband and their son. Ha! Wrong message. Don't do that because that's coming up in a later show, and it's called Mother, Hubby, Wife, May I? No, you may not. So we'll talk about that next Friday because that's going to be a hot show. But meantime, in between time again, welcome to the Little Hut Podcast. Also, before we get started today, because you know what the topic is for today is going to be hot, and I see somebody already in my chat, and you guys know what I feel about my chat. If you're in my chat with some shiggity boo, I won't see you and I won't hear you. So, but I'm going to check out my chat. If you have not received yet the Brown Report newspaper, it's the most talked about newspaper in the region. I must say, I have received a lot of phone calls regarding this particular edition, and I'm happy about it. And then maybe not. Some of you guys are not so happy because when we look at the front page stories, I want people to pay attention to this. We have 5 great stories on the front page. We show enough do. We have Mayor Burke leaves Garfield Heights in another big year. Find out what Mayor Burke is doing to improve the city of Garfield Heights. We have a picture here with Wingstop, and of course we have Council President Avery Johnson, Mayor Matt Burke, and we have some members of Wingstop. So you definitely want to check out this article if you live in the city of Garfield Heights. Also, we have the fantabulous article called "Why Everyone's Talking About the Controversial Little Hut Podcast." Maybe it's because we know how to build studios. Maybe it's because we know how to write news articles. Maybe it's because we are always a guest on National Fox News. Or maybe it's because we know how to design and write our own newspaper. Or maybe it's because education matters and we are full of education. Darn right, darn right. Then, too, we have Laverne Gore, who's running for mayor for the city of Cleveland. She's talking about violence, take over Cleveland, residents demanding answers, and she has some answers in the Brown Report newspaper. Then, too, we have local mayor caught in a lie, family members of deceased and convicted re-traumatized, and of course, you got, that lady over in Maple Heights, Mayor Blackwell, on the front page. Then on the bottom, we have the only qualified candidates on the Maple Heights ballot. And even Mayor Annette Blackwell cannot deny this fact. It doesn't matter. She can't deny it, cannot deny it. And damn it, she can't deny it. These are the only qualified candidates on the ballot. We have Dana Anderson for council president. We have Stafford Shannette for re-election of District 1. We have Edwina for re-election of District 7. Then we have, of course, Rosalind Moore for re-election of the school board. And that's Avery Johnson, who's running for Garfield Heights re-election. And we have a newcomer to the game that I really want you guys to pay attention to. Her name is Carla Hunter. She's here. We have Cheryl Wilshire, who's running for Cleveland Housing Judge. Check her out. We have In Song Loving. Absolutely, absolutely. And of course, she's running for Cleveland Municipal Court Judge. And right now we have, as of today, we have 2,500 papers on the ground. Some were actually walked door to door. The others are being distributed to the churches. And we're trying to get the paper out to as many churches as possible before tomorrow. Well, not before tomorrow, before Sunday, because we want to make sure parishioners get the opportunity to get their Brown Report newspaper. So you can set us right next to the call-in post. That's right in the churches. So this way you can get the call-in post and you can get the Brown Report newspaper. Of course, I had to give the Brown Report newspaper a shout out because that's what I do. Brown, brown, brown. That darn brown on Cleveland. Now, before we go on, let me check this chat out. Let me see. Oh, okay. That's Kimberly Taylor talking about good evening. Good evening to my BWCCC sister and my WCET sister. That's Kimberly Taylor. And she's always hanging out with Brown on Cleveland. All right, here we go. Tonight's topic, caught in a web, when a lie meets the news. So tonight, we're going to unravel the intricate web of deception surrounding a local news story. And you guys know that I was not here on Wednesday night due to the fact that I had to deliver the Brown Report newspaper, and I had to go way to another county to pick them up. So, of course, I was so tired. But at any rate, we're going to look at how a simple lie spiraled into a media frenzy, examining the consequences for those involved and the truth seekers behind the scenes. Now, we're going to discover the power of misinformation in today's digital age and learn how to navigate the tangled web that some people weave. A lie is a lie, and it does not matter who the person is. The question is, did you lie? One thing about the Brown Report newspaper, Brown on Cleveland, the Little Hud podcast, and Self and Little Kimmy, we always ask this question: do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help me God. And the church folks should say, amen. But here's the thing: if you get caught in a lie, do you apologize? That is the subject matter for tonight. And of course, the chat is open. Again, don't come into my chat with no okey doke and no mess, because I ain't doing no stress, and I'm going to call you out. And don't get mad, because I'm going to be at my best. But do you apologize when you get caught in a lie? Some people have this mentality, and the mentality is one of a narcissist. Their behavior always encompass either is my way or no way, or as some people say, my way or the highway. I say no way. As I thought about this, I started asking self. I said, self, I said, if you are caught in a lie and you have harmed someone, you have blatantly tried to destroy someone's character and reputation, and you're caught, I said, self, what would you do? Self said, well, I would be, first of all, embarrassed. Self said, but here's the thing: I don't act like that. So that question is not for me. I said, but self, we're just talking about for illustration purposes only. If you lie on somebody, should you apologize? Should you tell the truth? Should you admit and just quit? Self said, well, if I am one of a mature individual, I would. Self said, if I want to, hold a positive reputation in the community, one who holds myself accountable, I will. Self said, Brown, is just simply the thing to do. It's a simple thing to do. You tell a lie, somebody catch you a lie, then you're supposed to tell the truth. I said, self, but people don't act that way. I said, self, when people are caught in a lie, I said, self, why do they play the victim? Self said, because they're trying to get some attention, but they're trying to get the negative attention off of them. But, they want to play victim so they can get some positive attention, some sympathetic attention for them. I said, self, that's wrong. She said, yeah, I know, but that's what people do. So as the Brown Report newspaper came out, I gotta tell you this, guys. I gotta tell you this. A lot of people started talking about a story that's on the front page of the paper. The story that is raising an eyebrow. I had a lady who said that she's 90 years old, don't believe her at all, contact me about a story that's on the front page. The lady was not disrespectful. She was quite polite, but she was absolutely wrong with her thought process being 90 years old. She started talking about how disappointed she is with the article that she read about the local mayor who was caught in a lie. She said that she was disappointed because we as Black folks should follow the leader. I started thinking about Jonestown and Jim Jones. Remember, he was the leader. And under his leadership, approximately 918 people killed themselves. They committed suicide because their leader told them to. So I said to myself, I said, Self, I'm not following anybody over a cliff. I don't care who they are and what their titles happen to be. Because here's what people forget. Titles come and titles go. Titles are man-made positions. And some titles give people a sense of authority. The type of authority that they believe that they can do whatever the hell they please. So I'm sorry, elder. I'm sorry that you want somebody to follow a leader over a cliff. I'm not going to do that. So the lady went on to say that people have a tendency to be crabs in a bucket. So when I'm listening, I know she ain't talking about me. So I don't know what she's talking about because she didn't make any direct reference, but she was just talking in general, right? Just talking. No big deal, just talking. But I said to myself, I said, Self, who is she calling crabs in a barrel? Because a crab in a barrel does not allow somebody to stand on their shoulders to lift them up and to empower them. So I knew she couldn't be talking about me. So who are you talking about? She was vague. She wasn't clear. But then she says, I hope all of them get voted out of office. I said, well, again, who is she talking about? See, because she can't be talking about the ones who are out here making sure that the citizens of that city are being treated right. She can't be talking about the people who are standing up and using their council power to make sure that city residents are not being manipulated. She can't be talking about the people who are making sure that residents' tax dollars are not being abused or misused. So who is she talking about? Make it make sense. Make it clear. So you know me, right? I went to my computer and I started Googling crabs in a barrel. But they normally say crabs in a bucket. So here's what it says, because you guys, we gotta be precise and we gotta be concise. It says, when crabs are in a bucket and one tries to climb out to escape, the other crabs will grab and pull it back down. I agree to that. I do. Because I know some people with titles. If they think that you are more intelligent, no, let me change that. When they know that you are more intelligent than them, when they know that you are more creative than them, when they know that you are more innovative than them, they get mad because they think that their title makes them a privileged individual, and it does not. So I agree with that. Crabs in a barrel. Because a lot of the crabs who pull you down are these title-made, temporary position holders. And what I can never understand is this, the way I've been taught when I got my master's degree, and other people are seeking to get something just like me, is when you are in a room and you are the title holder with the most authority, that doesn't make you the smartest person in the room. It just simply means you have a temporary title and a temporary seat. That's all it means. But when you're at a table and for whatever reason, you're so delusional that you believe that you are the smartest person in the room, that makes you a crab in the barrel when you cannot accept the ideas and the talents of people who surround you. And we often ask ourselves why our region does not grow. Again, if you don't know, you got to go. The other thing is this: people with a crab mentality try to stop others from achieving goals, succeeding, or advancing. Why would anybody in their right mind, why would anybody who has a high, healthy self esteem want to put their foot on anybody's neck? Wouldn't you try to uplift them and allow them to be their very best? Not a crab. Not a crab. It's not about the title, it's about the behavior. Are you willing to empower those who you believe needs to be supported? Are you willing to mentor those to help them rise up, not to where you are, but to be better than what you are? If you're not, you have a crab mentality. The reasons for the behavior. This behavior can stem from envy, resentment, insecurity, or a competitive spirit, where the success of others highlight their own perceived failures or shortcomings. Some people often wonder why other people have all of these talents, skills, and abilities. They often wonder, how is it that God has blessed them, but I'm the one who holds the title? Let me answer. The reason why these individuals are being blessed is because they're staying away from other people's mess. The reason why they're being blessed is because they're focused on them. And they understand that everybody else around them must be empowered. So they don't have a selfish attitude. Their thing is this: when we go together. If we're going to win, we win together. Whatever we do, we're going to do it together. Those who believe that only one person in the room is supposed to succeed is that crab in the barrel. And I hope that the 90-year-old lady is listening to this podcast tonight. The consequences. The ultimate result is that no one in the group progresses, as advancements are sabotaged or discouraged. Let me say this. We have some people who are more than qualified to run for office of a certain seat. And because the crab who sits high, so they believe, will stop the person who's qualified because they don't want them to achieve. So here's what they do. They go and find them a dummy and or a flunky, and they try to lift them up while at the same time pushing and pulling them down. I'm going to say it again. They don't support the one who's qualified, the one who can achieve to succeed. They go and get them a flunky, a dummy, and they pull them down. And the reason why they pull them down is because they got this mentality that they don't want them to catch up to them. That is the real definition of a crab in the barrel. 90-year-old lady, I respect you, but are you listening? Crabs, they have a feeling that when other people succeed, they feel inferior and they feel threatened. They make excuses for why someone else achieved a goal. Withholding support that could help someone succeed, they do everything in their power to say, oh, woe is me. They will take a tragic situation, turn it around, spin it around, and make it as if it is their own. You see, crabs are like this. A crab wants to be the main character of every single scene. They don't know when to drive the car. They don't know when to sit in the back. They don't know when to be a passenger. It's all about me, 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 me. Wrong attitude. That's your crab in the barrel. The crab in the barrel, they focus on others' failures more than their own growth. They're so distracted. So distracted. They're so busy telling lies about other people to try to make them look good. And the sick part of it, not sad, the sick part of it is because they play the victim each and every time. Then they have people who follow not them, but their title. And they make excuses for their behaviors. You see, a crab knows how to move. If you ever watch a crab on a barrel bucket, see how they walk around the rim? They're very careful not to fall. But we see it all. That's your crab in the barrel. They actively try to discourage someone from pursuing a new endeavor. Rather than say, you know what? I believe you can do it. I'm going to help you do it. And whatever I can do to support your endeavor, they say everything but. They'll tell you it's not your time. They'll tell you you're not the chosen one. They'll tell you, well, nobody's going to support that. They will say everything negative to you and about you. That's your crab in the barrel. So it was interesting to have someone reach out to me. Yes, Sister Ragland, absolutely. It was interesting to have someone reach out to me who says that she's 90 years old. And of course, I don't believe it. Because here's the interesting thing about this. It sounds like the lady was a plant. I'm just saying it. Because with all of the great stories inside the Brown Report newspaper, the only thing you can focus on is the local mayor caught in a lie. Family members of deceased and convicted re-traumatized. Here's the thing that got me about that phone call, that message on Facebook. You never once made a statement about, I'm so sorry to the family about them having to relive the nightmare. You was focused on, oh, woe is her. You never said anything about the lie that was told. You was focused on, oh, we need to go along to get along. You wasn't concerned about the trauma that the family endured again because of a lie. But you were concerned about Black people pull black people down, and it shouldn't be in your paper. No, you weren't concerned about the real thing. Because here's my stance, Brown on Cleveland, 𝗩𝗓𝗘𝗢 podcast. Kimberly F. Brown and my business partner, we own this publication. We do. And there are other publications out here as well. You got the Call Post. You got The Real Deal. You have Cleveland Urban News. You have a lot of independent West Side papers. And when you look at mainstream, you got The Plain Dealer. You got 358 1943. Then you have, Ideal Stream. You have the folks down at the City Club. You have all those people, right? All those people. I wonder how many of those newspapers and news outlets you called or sent a message to regarding stories that they put on the front page of their newspaper. Y'all know I also work for Newsbreak. I wonder how many. Did you call me because we're Black women and we own a publication and we know graphics, we know layout, we know timelines, we have the skill set that a lot of people don't have? We do. I believe that we are the only African American women in Cuyahoga County who owns a print and digital newspaper. But you coming to me and us like we owe you something. I would like to know how many news outlets do you call when you see African Americans on TV? Do you call them and give them the same rhetoric you tried to give me? No, you don't. Sure don't. I owe you nothing. The only thing I owe is to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God. Public officials, elected officials, are free game. Whatever they do, the public has a right to know. Whatever they do, good, bad, ugly, and different. The story made the news simply because it is an egregious behavior that any local seat holder could do. What you cannot do, not with Brown on Cleveland, not with the Brown Report newspaper, not with me being a contributor for Newsbreak. Here's what you cannot do. You cannot tell a lie on somebody's family member and try to make the story your own. Everybody in the city of Maple Heights or wherever this may have happened, but it was Maple, should be outraged. So again, 90 years old, I don't care if you were 45 years old. No disrespect. You could be 10 years old. I don't get it how we as people, we have come such a long way. But for every 10 steps we take forward, we take 9.5 back. We ought to be ashamed of that. Anytime we allow a wrong to be right and a right to be wrong. There's nothing wrong with the Brown Report newspaper. There's something seriously wrong with you and how you try to make an excuse for somebody's behavior. The other thing that gets me, Brown on Cleveland, crabs in a barrel, lies, 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 lies. Also inside the paper, I want you guys to make sure you get a paper. You got to get a paper. We got about 5,000 papers left. And it is my goal to have them all distributed in the community by Friday of next week. If you want one, just call and we'll, bring it to your home. Maybe, maybe not. But they're all over the city right now. We got to go to Maple and do our drop tomorrow. And we got to go to Garfield and make sure Garfield get theirs. But here's the other thing about the paper. This is crazy, right? You focus here. Inside the paper, I'm talking about that story that some people call petty. It's not petty. It's borderline corruption. And it's about the situation regarding the damaged City Hall garage in Maple Heights. I have spelled this out to you step by step. And you're talking about the front page story when in fact the taxpayers almost had to pay for something that did not belong to them. I would think that being 90 years old, 80 years old, 70-year-old, 60-year-old, 50-year-olds, 40-year-old, 30-year-olds, I think you should be concerned about your money of the city and how your money is being spent. That should be a priority. But see, you're too busy chasing titles rather than chasing responsibilities and holding people accountable. Something's wrong with us. Something is seriously wrong with us. Do you guys remember the story that happened in New York back in November 1987? Can I say her name? The young girl's name is Tawana Brawley. Y'all remember that case? It happened in 1987. 15-year-old. She made allegations. She lied and said that she was raped by 4 white men. Remember that? And Al Sharpton and 2 other activists, they made national attention because they were fighting for this young lady because of the allegations that they made. And long story short, as they were shaking their pom-poms, trying to get justice for this young lady, come to find out that the story was not true. And the thing that got me was when they found out it wasn't true, some people who should have apologized for dragging people through national media, they said absolutely nothing. When some black people heard that this young lady admitted that it did not happen, even if forensics stated that she had not been raped, there was no sexual indication that she had been touched. You even had some black people still holding on to a lie. When do we stop lying? When do we begin to just tell the truth? And if you're not going to tell the truth, just don't say nothing. Say nothing. But here's what gets me, because I got to wrap this thing up. The liar in today's society, the liars are protected by fans and followers and flunkies and dummies. And the person who tells the truth, they become the enemy of the state. But when or if the liar has to face some dire consequences, the fans and the flunkies and the dummies are nowhere to be found. Amazing. Ms. Ragland says, truth stands on and for itself. It does not have to be defended. No, I don't have to be defended. But unfortunately, or fortunately, it needs to be constantly talked about. It's just, it trips me out. Here we have an entire paper For the most part, the paper is very rewarding. It's extremely informative, good, bad, ugly, or indifferent. You have a mayor of Garfield Heights. He done had one hell of a year, big events, a lot of development. And I'm getting calls and inboxes about a local mayor being caught in a lie. And people are defending that mess. The crazy part is, did you call her and ask her, why does she lie? Did you call her and ask her, was she woman enough to call the family members and apologize? Did you ask her not to do it again? Did you even ask her why? No, you didn't, because you're a fan. You're a fan. Our paper stands. The papers aren't going anywhere. We got 2,500 on the ground. We got another 5,000 to put out between now and next Friday. Do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Self said, absolutely. So help me God. So those of you who are offended by the Brown on Cleveland newspaper, the Brown Report newspaper, please, by all means, you have my permission to be offended. The papers aren't going anywhere. When you call Ed Gallick, when you call the Calling Post, when you call Cleveland Urban News, Channel 3, 5, 18, 19, and 43, and the Plain Dealer and Ideal Stream, and talk about their stories on the front page, then you can call me. My name is Kimberly Brown. Brown, 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 that damn Brown on Cleveland. It's great that God has given me the talent to build a podcast studio. It's great that Kimberly F. Brown holds an FCC license. It's great that Kimberly F. Brown has been trained to put together a newspaper and to be a prolific writer. It's great to work for Newsbreak. It's great to be on National Fox News. It's great to hold a master's degree in public administration and public policy. Damn it, it is so great. And I'm very unapologetic. And you should be too. So you guys keep being great at what you do. A lie is a lie, it's a lie, it's a lie, it's a lie. And it will never be the truth. So don't start shaking your pom-poms for those folks who lie. Let them lies and that person lie right on. But again, with Brown on Cleveland, the Brown Report newspaper, again, do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help me God. Listen, y'all, get your Brown Report newspaper. It's a hot commodity. And of course, you want it. Because I tell you this, on Sunday, when people are sitting in the pews, they're going to be reading that paper and they're going to be thinking about you. You better hope one don't show up at your church home. You're lucky. Because, boy, I wonder what your pastor would say. You, man, I don't know. But listen, you guys, I got to go. I got to go. I got to go. As I say each and every, Friday. You don't have to be a star, baby. You don't have to be a star, baby, to be on this show. You don't have to be a star, baby, to be on this show, but you got to be bold. Now, listen, let me tell y'all something right now. Talk about me in private. I'm going to talk about you in public. Tell it loud me. I'm going to tell the truth on you. Mind my business. And you know, I'm going to mind your business as well. And that is the truth, Ruth. Yeah, you guys have a great evening because, woo! Brown, 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 brown. That damn brown or Cleveland. Brown. They like lies. Bunch of liars. They don't know any better. Bunch of flunkies and dummies. I don't mind your phone calls. I don't mind your messages. Come for me. I damn sure will come back at you. Brown, brown, brown. That damn brown on Cleveland. Have a great evening. Shake your pom poms, damn it.